The following may include subject matters of war, violence, loss, and adult themes which may not be appropriate for all audiences. Viewer discretion advised. Previously on Darkeport.
Episode 17. A slowly recovering Griff tells Nilishli of the Kell, a passionate people that live in the northern expanse. Among them are berserkers who fight empowered by rage, much as Nilishli herself. Marcus sees his niece apprenticed to Wesa, then sets his heroic son, Livius, on the path to becoming Lord Titus' squire. A dawn gathering of Kithki healers sees Granny Dewshine bare her soul about her desperate actions during the Battle of the Broken Tower. The healers caucus, attempting to decide if they can continue on with the Granny as their senior. During this event, Merick makes his way to the venerable figure, unburdening himself to her even as she awaits judgment herself. That evening, a lively gathering in Lady Livia's office sees many occurrences, including Indra Starstep explaining to Lord Titus how her lady's gift functions. Livia thanks Griffin for his vital contribution during the Battle of the Broken Tower, which sets off a lengthy discussion about what the veteran chosen's intentions are. This moves into an outright debate that plays out over 2 stages, Griffin and Katrin, then eventually Katrin and Nilishli. While this plays out, Deacon Andros, the newly installed representative for the Church of Light in Juramentum, shares some of his considerable knowledge regarding Jason Tenderheart, confirming that he believes the legendary figure was indeed laid to rest somewhere in the Riverlands. In the same eventful gathering, Livia shares that she has delayed Leptis Regium as long as she can. 38 days from the current one, they expect to sit down with the leadership of Juramentum to negotiate terms of annexation, or they shall declare war upon the home of the Fellowship. Finally, Titus asks the rest of the Fellowship if they are willing to journey to the mysterious island that may be Jason Tenderheart's final resting place. While so doing, he promotes an until then morose Merick, who had first proclaimed his place was not travel, but in the city. Upon being elevated to Centurion of a newly reconstituted First Century, Merick agrees to come along. Welcome, faraway friends, connoisseurs of fantasy and curiosity seekers the realm over. You have found yourself once more with us, the Troupe of Darkeport, and for that we welcome you. If you're new to these parts, we're going to be pretty brief on these opening statements. I like to keep things lean so we can get right into the narrative, because amazingly, what you would think would be plenty of time on a 3-hour time block actually runs very quickly when you're trying to run all of these tales together. speaking of which, we are down one member tonight. Anika is well, I'm happy to report. Nothing nefarious, no crazy hell scares, just professional obligations. And I'm hoping that she's able to join us in the chat at some point. But in any event, of course, we wish our sister in arms well. And she will be back playing the brilliant and enigmatic Patron, I'm certain, at a next episode. And with that, we always want to thank a few folks and shout out a few folks here who are taking this journey with us. So, of course, we have good old Eldritch Foundry, which continues to do its marvelous thing with custom minis, which have now finally infiltrated the public game that I run on Saturdays, and so there were a lot of oohs and ahs to that, and that was quite well received, and I felt really good. I felt really good. Felt really good using the product at the table and being able to do that, and figuring out, I'm not anybody, any old timers here knows I'm infamously tech incompetent, so it's been quite a journey of figuring everything out, but I think I'm there. I think I can express what I want with the minis. So thank you for that, Eldritch Founder. We definitely appreciate your continued support now into the new year. And we have an additional friend and ally and companion in Cantrip Candles. Would you like to introduce our new sponsor, guys?
Woohoo, yeah.
Officially now, we have it. We have it.
Wow. Cantrip Candles.
Don't do that. No. Are you tired of your house not smelling like this?
Cantrip Candles makes custom candles, and we are so excited to partner with them. And you guys can use the code NEWPARTY10 at checkout of your first order, and they'll take 10% off your order. We're very excited. This candle smells like yeast, bread, and flour, similar to perhaps what Publi's pastries would smell like.
That's what I got it.
I'm very happy about it. And we are going to retire this very trusty, very delicious, non-cantrip candle tonight. We'll date it.
We are. Actually, would you...
You want me to date it right now?
I feel like we should have a going away ceremony for the old Candle of Tales. So thank you, Candle of Tales.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Of Tales.
Goodbye.
Vale. Yep.
Today's the 13th.
Yes.
It is. It's the 13th.
The day before V-Day.
The day before Singles Awareness Day. Yes. So we have that one is going to join our original Candle of Tales up on the shelf, and we now have Golden Wheat Bakery, I believe, is the name of this one.
With 2 wicks.
Ooh, two
better than one.
We have had our faces in this thing, just snorting it up. It's
a duality of story.
It's very delicious.
It's a duality of story.
He's blessing. It's yummy.
Right.
Come with a D20 inside of the candle?
It actually does.
After it's burned down?
It does.
It actually does.
Oh, that's so cool.
I had forgotten.
New dice.
I had forgotten.
Dig it out.
So they get it.
And that's going to segue well into a new little thing I'm going to debut tonight, which I will be keeping track of. So nobody has to, but that in a moment. And I think you can already see the die 20 on the bottom. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. It's like
cool.
I'll believe it in 2 years.
Yeah. I know. I'm curious to see. I bet you that that I'm sure that's going to fill this whole room. That'll be delicious and also make us really hungry.
Yeah.
So,
Perfect.
So we definitely appreciate y'all. Thank you for joining us on this journey. And no, I'm really excited that what started off as almost an inside joke with the Candle of Tales has now kind of become a thing. So yeah, that's great. Mm-hmm. Kind of artistry meets serendipity. Best kind of creation. And so but before I go on, of course, we have our lovely, I almost feel like there are our sister campaign or brother campaign, Big Brother, because Alex started much before us, but the wonderful crew over at Constructed Chaos, they run a great, lively, funny, like Tales of Daring Deal, it's getting a bit darker now, campaign, also D&D 5th Ed. And one of the things, I'll just kind of mention this, one of the things I really appreciated that I'm completely stealing, Alex, are the custom rules for ship combat. I went back and I rewatched some stuff, and there's going to obviously be some potential for naval combat. I wonder when that could happen. And tonight.
We're going by it.
But I love seeing. I was going to say veteran DMs, but anybody can do this. I love seeing storytellers take what already exists and morph it and evolve it to something that fits their theme and fits their world better. I'm a huge proponent of that. I'm an agnostic when it comes to game systems and that sort of thing. I really want to have the game that works with the story that we're trying to tell. So it's been which can be a whole interesting thing in and of itself. It's the deep dive. I probably have to do a deep dive on that sometime. Thank you, Alex, and the Constructed Chaos crew for being with us, and it helps to keep the morale up, I hope, on both sides. And myself and sometimes Corey and Justin, our executive producer, we're in their chat a lot too, so it's a lot of fun. And finally, so I'm debuting a new thing tonight, and and now that your GM remembers that there is actually a D20 inside of that creature, I know what one of the prizes is going to be for the player. Maybe for the audience. I don't know. Well, we'll see. I don't want to promise things. I don't want to promise things.
You might fight the rules
that I can't do.
Fighting words there.
Yeah, I know. So
he might need a new 20. Who knows?
So rule is dibs, I thought. But
at the end, shotgun. At the end of actually at any time, but probably to be fair, toward the end of the session, I'm gonna ask all of the people in chat to vote for who they think the MVP of the session is. Now, that can take a lot of different turns. That can be the person who most amused you. That can be the person who advanced the plot the most. That can be the person who had the best characterization. It can be the person who surprised you. Any of those things, inspired, all of that. And then, to be fair, for like some of our just hardcore people that are mean the world to us, that we have, like Grim Reaper. I know you have to go before basically the end of the session pretty much every time, so I'm going to keep the polls open until the next day. So Wednesday's a work day for me, and I'll be monitoring that, and then on the next stream I'll let you all know. And another thing I'm shamelessly stealing from Constructed Chaos, although we're modifying it for Darkeport, is that whoever wins that MVP is going to get a morale point.
Morale.
And you can spend. We'll talk about how we spend those morale points. And so the players, the players embodying these characters will get these morale points. When we hit 10 morale points, something big is going to happen for that character. I already have something planned out for everyone. I'm still tweaking and refining, but I'm pretty happy with what I've come up with. And that way you, dear viewer, can influence the course of events in a significant way. And over time, it's possible that we see all of these secrets unlocked or not, and that's okay too. However
I like that.
Mystery involved.
Yeah, got to keep y'all.
Choose your own adventure.
Got to keep y'all on your toes, and I got to keep our audience on their toes too, because we have some real sharp people watching this and supporting us through all of it. So
awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time and your attention. And without further ado, I think it's time to get on with the show, huh?
So y'all, there's 2 wicks here, so.
Sing longer.
It's gonna maybe change a little bit, and I don't want to. Anika gets a little like, oh my god.
Yeah, second verse.
Let's try it out, right? Let's try out.
The candle.
Just go rogue. Just go rogue.
Candle of tales. All right.
Wow.
Perfect harmony. Love it.
Exciting.
Love it.
Duel. Vote Titus. All right.
So we are a chatty lot tonight, as you can no doubt. There was quite a bit of chatter going on before, and even tomfoolery. Yes, just before the cameras were rolling. But as we return back, we actually are picking up essentially immediately right where we left, and I was half in jest, but also seriously. At this point, I'll tell the players and as well as the audience, I am satisfied that as a storyteller, I have done the first duty of laying the foundation. And so the table is set, the tableau is before us, And if the pace that we choose to go at is 1 day for 1 session, I'm okay with that. So we're just gonna go on with this pace. You have 38 days until the negotiations with Leptis Regium are going to occur. How you choose to spend that time, how the Fellowship and the people that love them and love the dream of Juramentum choose to spend them is in your hands. We have here the leadership. We have the most experienced person against the Utini. We have the raw might of the Dread Mother's, avatar. We have the reawakening Marcus of the golden flame, essentially, and then we have Tatiana, Wesa, spy mistress and diplomat extraordinaire, and perhaps even a bit more, and also Katrin, our resident, brilliant wheel worker.
Can we put day 38 and the next time day 37? I'm sorry, countdown.
I mean, maybe.
Each episode countdown.
Yes,
Justin.
Yes, but we want Justin's sanity to be intact as well. Just like I said, I'm not trying to give any of y'all my PTSD. I'm not trying to give him. So
we can hold up a card.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe we just go old school. Oh, you know what, Corey? Because Corey made these, by the way. Corey made all of these.
I can take a calendar of that.
No, you could. You totally could. Do that.
We'll do that.
That's a countdown. That's a really good idea. I like that.
We're 10 minutes closer, guys. Let's go. No, I'm kidding.
Daylight.
We're at 37 days and 24
hours. There are Marines who would remind me, Doc, daylight's burning.
Valentine's coming up soon.
We have a Nilishli running down a Griff.
Literally.
See, GM does. I do rewatch these things and take notes. As a last kind of note, at some point, I don't know when, we're not there yet, but at some point, I'm probably going to open the floodgates and just ask the audience and also the players to go back and see if there are any loose plot lines that I never addressed. Because sometimes I found them and I'm like...
One quick thing I would like, when I was carrying Granny, I would like to take one of her hairs and I'll weave it into the bracelet that I have. Is that possible?
Yeah, you should.
It's a small thing, but an important thing for what Merick does around that.
You should be able to do that. Actually, let me note that.
Yeah, we can clone her.
What? All right.
Thank you.
So you're running. You are running after a Griff. Mm-hmm. How far?
Recap. Don't we have a recap?
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. See, I'm just ready. I'm just champing at the bit. Oh, that's right. So Anika was going to do the journal tonight, but she's not able to be with us in our faraway land. So instead, I was going to do the journal for a particular character that has not had a journal entry before. I may at some later date deploy that one, but instead, Randy as Marcus threw himself into the breach, which we definitely appreciate because that was just like a couple hours ago. So I was not expecting a player to do one of these journal entries on that kind of short notice, but here we are. So take it away. Thank you, Donnie.
Thank you, Donnie. As he was leaving, I found myself pitying Griff. There's no doubt in my mind that he loved his brother dearly, but what he seeks to do ain't justice. Not to him, not to the substitute he sacrifices, and most certainly not to his brother. He calls it justice, but deep down he knows it ain't. True to form, Nilishli attacked the problem directly and without fear. I hadn't understood the depths of her feelings for the man until now, but it evokes emotions I felt towards Albert when we first started falling in love. Though unwilling, she is able to break through to the man inside and bring him back out into the light. The irony would not be lost on me considering her connection to the Dread Mother. Griff, aside for the moment, we desperately need allies for what is coming. I think I'll hang back as everyone leaves and have a candid chat with the Domine. Even though we are venturing out to investigate the final resting place of Jason Tenderheart, the world will not remain idle during this time, so we must be proactive. I understand now why my father always laughed at Sextus Major. Despite the airs he put on, Sextus is as much a patrician as I am a breeding hog. I feel blessed to Titus and Livia for showing me how real leaders lead. Wow.
Good.
Awesome.
Well, thank you, Randy. Yeah.
Breeding hog. Hell yeah. Shit. Pullux sucks.
Pollux crew!
Yo, Pullux!
Bunch of cowards.
How far do you think Griff gets before Nilishli catches up with him?
So he had left. Remind me where we were at
He had left Lady Livia's office, which is on the second story. Mm-hmm. It's only two and a half stories of the keep. So second story, and he knew his way out, and he didn't mess around. So he just went right down. So if you hesitated at all, he's not running, obviously, but the man has a stride, so he covers distance quickly.
Okay, so I can still see him when I'm like either leaning out the window or have left Lady Vale's office.
Olivia's
office, sorry. Yeah. I can see him. Okay.
Lady Vale's office, that's a whole different deal.
She's just been on my mind today.
That's fair. No, Allie surprised, she surprised, I don't know if that'll make it out there, but she surprised me. She's like, hey, Lady Vale, and she was like, I had to respond in character. That was a pretty good one. You caught me off guard with that one. Love it. So if you want, I mean, you were quick on the draw, so you could have run down.
I'm gonna, she runs him down.
Or you can call to him from the window if you want.
No, she's
a little more hands-on.
Yeah,
okay.
she's thundering through the.
So I'm gonna say that you get him just about as he's at the bottom of the spiral staircase that goes up to the second level. So
okay.
Were you you were here for the whole office meeting with Indra Starstep? No, you were still gone. Okay. So it would be basically close to Rutilius's office on that ground floor is where that staircase is. But anyway, you got there. So you have most of the keep. There's a central hallway that runs through it to the door. One of these days, we're going to have to do an official blow-up map for the keep, even though hopefully we're not going to have combat in it anytime soon. We'll see.
I don't like this.
So you catch him. A little assassination attempt for your trouble.
Ship combat.
No, we don't need a blow up right now.
Yeah.
He asked for a blow up. We know it's gonna happen now.
Yeah. We're swimming.
Yeah. No, that is the whole thing. Tip to my aspiring GMs: always give them detail, because if you only drop detail in when there's danger afoot, it's like you're flashing a big red neon sign: combat imminent. All right. It actually is one of the reasons why I try to give pretty rich detail at all times to keep you on your toes.
Smart.
Yeah,
for sure.
So you're down there with him, sensing you. He stops. He does not turn to look at you.
Griff.
With advantage, because you have been paying very close attention to this man, make an insight check.
I'm using this box.
Okay, this amazing box, which we will talk about maybe when we get back from.
Ooh.
Nice.
Have your good old minus.
Wait, guys. +5?
-2.
Oh, because it's for insight.
It's -2.
That'd be lovely, though.
16.
Okay. Remember in the office when you gave him the long, heartfelt hug, and you could feel him clamp back? I mean, he did touch you eventually. He did reciprocate eventually, but he didn't really let himself go. You see his shoulders shake, and he stops almost mid-step. He still doesn't turn to face you.
I like broad steps, walk up to him and pull him on the shoulder and pull him back. Griff.
I'm here, Nilly. And there's a weird look in his eyes that you've never seen before. Something far away, distant, and not entirely present.
Mm-hmm. Griff, I need your full attention.
I don't know that I can give it to you right now.
Okay, fine. I need to ask you a question. And you're not going to want to do it. But I ask you, heed this question. Will you stop this trip at least until you get back and come with us now? We're going to the island.
Let's get the fuck out of here. I need some air.
Okay. Arbor?
I don't know, maybe just somewhere that's not this fucking seat of patrician whatever. And he walks out, and again you see that pained, it's not even a half smile. it's just his lips, his strong jaw, the chapped lips kind of twisting for a moment, and then gone, and he tries to re-study his face, but he's failing at this moment. There's another long, shuddering breath, and then he propels himself forward, and the two of you leave the keep. Some of the kitchen maids watch you. One of the older ones raises an eyebrow to the younger ones, but there's no commentary. You go out to this courtyard that maybe one day we'll release the brawl in the hall, where you face down the old lion, you and your sisters-in-arms, to win Livia's place in the politics of the city. Not so long ago, although to you it now seems like a lifetime ago. And he keeps walking. There's none of the ring of sparring that was there that day. There's none of the hustle and bustle. You realize that although this is Juramentum in a microcosm, because although outwardly the city looks even stronger than ever, because remember the broken tower has now been filled and sealed, the bodies have been burnt, a warning to all those who would attack the city and its dream. It's hollowed out right now, and so too is the keep. You get to the smaller gates, still stout, and still he hasn't spoken. One of the runners now, actually probably two or three of them, have to combine to slide the bar out from the gate. Again, there just aren't enough Myrmidon to do that function anymore, to perform that function anymore. He's out. It's late now. It's in the evening now, so it's not super late or anything. There's still people out, but the market is packing up. All but the most avaricious of the merchants have retired. He takes you, skirts the market, and instead of going to the arbor, he actually heads down to you don't know yet, but he's heading down toward the river. And there's a little you cross one of the bridges, I should say, like creeks really, that kind of cut up Juramentum as you're just off of the Great Lake. And then he starts slowing as you begin to hit his destination, his presumed destination. And I don't imagine Nilishli goes here very often. There's the statue, by Leptis Regium standards, crudely wrought, yet revered, of Julius Metellus, of the heir of the last generation, whose body was recently stolen from the crypt. He comes around, and they actually have some Kifke crafted benches there. And finally, then, he stops this rapid step and just kind of, and again, not like him, collapses into the bench, putting one muscular arm on the side of the bench's left and staring not so much at the statue, but just off, even though he's facing it.
I'm going to take a seat on the other side of him.
Okay. How close?
Just like a foot in between us, but like it's more I'm sitting down next to him and there's an appreciation of the fact he needs to be in silence. It's more of a companion.
The Tajir. Those were the first people. Me, and Ollie, and Mom. It's the first people we were sold to. The first people who took us. This was before Figulus Neus did what he did. I couldn't bend mana to my will. I was a 15-year-old kid. Quick, fast, stupid. No match for their warriors. Lil Julilla, older sister. She fought harder than me. God. You can feel a pulse from him. Actually strong enough to jostle you, even your solid frame. Yeah, no. They took me down. Ollie almost made it out. I don't know. Mom just kind of... She didn't run. She fought, but she just put herself over me. I don't know. By then, Dad was dead. I thought he was everything. And he kind of was. Strong and courageous and worldly in the best sort of way. Protective and harsh, but just. And after a while, I got used to the Tajir ways, Nilly. I learned how to survive out there. And yeah, we caught some beatings, but it wasn't that bad. I thought it was hell's on earth, but he's not touching the single tear that's gathered on his craggy face. But that's because I didn't know what real slavery was like until they took us to Passar. Hard times there for the Tajir. They're all over the sands of the Emirates. You'll never kill those people. They're the life's blood of city folk, They're proud of themselves and everything in the Emirates, but that's not actually who those people are. Mulmar the Magnificent. That's what that fat fuck called himself. That was our master. That's who bought us. That's who broke me. That's who tortured Ollie. I told you before, or maybe it was your sharp-minded friend. Ollie was too pretty for his own good. I was 20 before I got us out, Nilly. He had to deal with that for There they count the year by summers, summer after summer. Yeah. At least that motherfucker's dead. Rotting under the sands for a long, good while. Fuck him. Mom was dead by then, too. And it was just us. We're all we had in the world. And then I told you up in her office I didn't have words for it, and I still don't. I don't know. Whatever that thing was that shook the pillars of the weave and made it so that humans, and not just impure, could manipulate mana without training, really without even old speak, just doing it, just willing it into being. Yeah, that's when I came along. Ollie tried to explain it to me. Had insights I can't even imagine. Barely understand them now. And he was still a kid.
Nellie's gonna put her hand gently on his arm. And she's gonna say...
You can feel him it's subtle, but you can feel him shaking.
I don't know what it is to have human family, but I do know what it is to love.
He looks over at you. That warms me. Thank you. Thank you.
My question for you, Griff, is your family was harmed. Your brother treated unjustly. But what can you hope to gain by taking the life of another innocent? Would your brother wish that? Would he wish you do that for him?
His hard eyes look into yours. Some shade of hazel to your unearthly gray. Doesn't answer you. He looks up at the statue. Maybe seeing it for the first time. Give me an option. One that doesn't have Ollie taken from this world. Like that. We had just started, Nilly. The first fucking place we went to after we escaped. And settled some scores, yeah. Was our Bella. It's like the gods were laughing at us. It's like some kind of sick joke that they brought us there. Got involved in all of that Crimson of the Children of the Crimson bullshit. God, I wish I just listened to my fucking gut and kept on going. But he was hungry, and there's the desert and all of that. It doesn't matter now. It's all done. Do you think she has an option? Katrin.
What do you believe her options to be?
Well, like I told you up there again, my best option. Her best option is her worst option is my best option. I should have kidnapped her and taken her to the gravedigger. There was a part of me that thought about that when I got here. It was low, I know that. But I have to have an end to this. I have to. You haven't lived long enough yet to understand. I don't even know how old you are, but I know by the way that you move and the way that you talk, you're tough, and now you've tasted some of your anger, some of your rage. You haven't seen this world. It hasn't had a chance to twist you, and I don't want it to. I came back not just because I was afraid for your body. Yeah, I want you to survive. But because I was afraid for your soul. I didn't want you to be embroiled in all of this crap, but it's futile. It's all fucking futile. There's no way out of this.
Ellie's gonna turn around and face him squarely.
Still sitting?
Mm-hmm. Okay. I can tell you this. My creatrix, the Dread Mother, close to death, and this weapon I wield, which is also close to death, makes none of this futile. Every moment you breathe, every moment you walk on the earth is a gift, not to be taken lightly.
If I had his grimoire, her master's grimoire, I could do it. I don't know the mathemagics. I never will. I don't need to if I'm using his grimoire as a focus. I could do it then. Do you think if I beg, it will matter to her? That one has a hard heart.
I think if your brother means this much to me and your soul cannot find peace without him, you must do everything first before taking innocent life. If that means beg, you beg. If you need a companion, I will be with you.
This time, he does reverse the grip a little bit, and his big, calloused hand closes over yours. Essentially his equal, although your uncanny skin is not yet. It is both is kind of like hard rubber in that there's almost no blemish, but it's incredibly resilient, much harder to pierce than human flesh. You feel the warmth of him. Okay.
Good. But first, shall we go to the island?
You really want me with you on that?
I would want you nowhere else.
That was not what I was going to do, Nilishli.
Well, make waste to old plans.
Will she tell me more about the gravedigger?
You won't know until we make our way. She's gonna stand up, hold out her hand, and wait for him to join.
He pauses a good while, looks up at the statue again, and you can almost sense him asking a question or perhaps answering one. And then you feel him more slowly, more deliberately than he normally does things, close his hand around you, tight enough that for most women it would almost be painful. Like he's reassuring someone that this moment is real. And then he's up. And he doesn't say anything more and he follows you.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Ally scored.
Let's go.
Fate changed.
So, how does the Fellowship, who is not chasing Griff out, how do we end that scene? We had essentially, or kind of continue it, but people had different plans in mind. Remember, the evening is wearing on. You had, most of you hadn't eaten yet, that sort of thing. And this is all the same day with everything that happened with Granny Dewshine, so that I'm sure your character at some point would be eager to see what the result of that, because they were taking a long time to caucus and deliberate.
Yeah.
I hold myself back before, just let's see what everybody else is doing for the moment.
Okay.
But I'm kind of signaling that I would like a word with Livia if she's willing to talk to me.
Okay.
Through body language, through whatever.
You wait then, and you see the others filter out one by one. So Nilishli goes. Titus, are you keeping there with your sister?
Back, yeah.
You're staying back. Okay. Merick.
I'm gonna go see Granny Dewshine.
Yeah, that's realistic.
And I'll walk with Merick back to my spot.
Okay. So you're in each other's company for each other's company for a good while, and you'll actually probably drop Merick off at the healing hall.
Mm-hmm.
Do you, on your way there, do you want to have any words, or are you just walking in silence?
Merick,
Wesa,
I see you're struggling.
I did not deserve, need that recognition. It commits me. I don't know if I can lead men. Barely lead myself.
Why don't you think you can lead men?
Because I'm broken. I am struggling with... No, I've made a decision. Unless Granny Dewshine says something to change my mind, I'm not evoking that mistress's stuff again. It's corrupting me. It ruined the one object. It's not the object, it's the love and the attention that Granny Yulia put into that matters. She told me it isn't the object, and I agree, but that's not about the object. It's about the corruption of the object, of her touch, her time, her love. And that bow. It's a symbol. It's a symbol of my heart, my soul. She told me that I could somehow balance it. I don't know if I want to even try to balance it. Everything with blood is war and chaos. That is not what we Kithki are. In the Shires, this is all doubles and Dyrathi nonsense. We despise it, to be honest. Not even the word despise. The word I would use is we pity the humans for having to do this. In the Shires, none of this happens. no petty politics, no wars. Well, only we have to defend ourselves against the snouts. It just happened in the past, from what I'm told.
Which is what you did.
But not using whatever tainted power, skill, corruption that is in me now. Using the mother's touch. Yulia used mother's touch. Weirdly offensively, but that is what the touch gems do. They are different than the Dushines, who are gifted in the healing powers and don't use the Great Mother's gifts in that way.
But Sergeant...
Hi, Sergeant Merick. Some children running by you, nodding, waving to you.
Okay. But...
Centurion now. You must learn to use the right title.
They don't hear you because they're
Not her. I was just.
Yeah, I was only speaking to her.
Fair enough.
There's a lot.
All right, Centurion, you are a warrior, and you're a great warrior, and I have never seen you use your weapon in a way that wasn't appropriate. I understand you and your people, you and your Seppu have experienced a lot.
They're anathema. You don't know the history of the Kingi. They were once part of us. They fell to that corruption, we believe. They worship, align with her.
With Raf? Raf?
I'd rather not say the name, yes. And any Kingi, any Kithki here, they hear me even speak of such, well, I will be an outcast. I've seen it once already before. They heard. They looked at me like I was some corrupted piece of coal. I do not want to be an outcast to my own kin, my own Seppu. They already find me. They already pity me for what happened to me and who I am.
About this time, it's evening, and you're seeing, because of how you're walking, you're actually, ironically enough, you just missed Griff and Nilishli, although you don't know that, because of how you're going. And you see there are quite a few candles that are lit, and you're seeing a procession, a small but growing procession in the Dushine, amongst the Dushine houses. So the Dushine houses are different. I know you already know this, Corey, but they're different from the touch gem houses in that they're built such that a human army passing them could very easily mistake them for trees and bushes. And they're always built along waterways, always. So this is one of the creeks. It's following one of the creeks. And as you're having this conversation and you continue on kind of the main, east-west road, it looks like there is a whole bunch of quiet but intent activity at the Dushine compound, because you can see these candles joining and feeding into and around the compound. So you see that. Go, keep going.
Loquesa. They made a decision. We need to find out what. I need to find out what.
I'll come with you, but before we go, I'm an outcast myself. I don't think I could ever go home, and I know we have a very different journey with very different values, and I have no idea what it's like to be a Kithki. And I belong here, and I believe you do too. And whatever choices you make, I respect them.
Thank you for your words. You've always been kind to me and to my kin and Seppu.
It's easy. And I trust that everything you have experienced with this new gifts and old gifts, I trust it'll sort itself. But please lean on us. the Kithki brethren of yours might not understand, but that's okay.
A crone is coming. I do not know if I wish to be here when she arrives. They are the grannies of the Kingi. They become crone in different ways. More, just to say they kill each other to the death to become one.
Oh.
That sort of thing. I don't know the exact means. The fact one's coming, though.
Coming here?
Yes.
Today? Or
I
another
don't
day?
know the day. I just know that she's on her way.
Wow. And do you know her agenda?
To speak to me.
Whoa.
That'd be like your mother coming to speak to you.
What can I do?
Whatever insight you have. I don't know.
Can I do that?
If you want, sure.
Okay. Let's see what kind of insight I got.
Yeah.
None
I
today.
rolled a 1.
None today.
I don't know anything
Those
about these
crones,
things.
they just are super secret.
He's talking in Ilocana.
I'm not going to torture. I'm not going to torture you with that. Yeah, you honestly just don't. You understand your own ignorance.
Yeah.
You just don't know that culture.
Yeah.
And this is even the offshoot of. We're now talking twice. Once removed from what you don't know.
They're like the Dark Elves, That's it.
Make another roll. Something else kind of felt bubbling up.
4.
Total on an insight.
Oh, on insight.
You're not capable.
11.
You are not capable of that.
Unless you roll one.
Yeah, -4.
Although that's you can feel something bubbling up in your psyche right now. That's germane. But right now it's an inchoate feeling. It's not a fully formed thought yet. It's something you may have to sit with, or it's something that may just come. But something about this conversation with Merick, a kind of conversation that the two of you, frankly, have never had before, is stirring the pot within you.
Well, if you need someone to be with you, we will all gather. No problem. You do not have to face that on your own. But it seems that something big has happened today for your people.
Do I know what the meaning is behind this at all so far, based on the candle lighting? Is that a decision? Is that an acknowledgement?
The Dushine ways are a little different than yours, but they've come to a decision, and that they have taken this very seriously, and they've been deliberating the entire day about this, as your people are wont to do in small groups, coming into larger groups, breaking back off.
Okay.
This decision, Corey, probably involved hundreds, maybe close to 1,000, not just the Dushines, of course, because she's the chief healer of the city.
Right. Well, so they've made a decision. They spent quite a bit of time and many involvement in this decision. We need to find out what it is.
Is it all right if I'm with you? Or is it just for you and yours?
Do I know the answer to that?
You would be surprised if they rejected her. Make an insight roll. This will be low DC. These are your people.
19.
Okay. You get the feeling that it's probably okay because Wesa is well known to the Kithki, and
Liked and adored, probably,
and is adored, by them. If this was normally the Kithki are very welcoming people. At such a tender, potentially painful moment, though, it would be odd. But she's kind of accepted as part of that community as well, because you would have cooked with them numerous times and been in. Aside from Merick himself, you would have been in the Kithki quarter probably the most out of the fellowship.
I think it'll be fine. You seem to have won over the There's some ways an honorary version of the Dushines.
Oh, well, That really warms me. And I extend my hand to Merick if he needs to hold a hand. And
I grab it
we walk.
tenderly. It's a big hand, thick hand, but it's
like-
Probably works with mine.
Adorable.
So, young Lord Titus and Marcus, true cleric for the first true cleric in 217 winters, have remained behind in Lady Olivia's office. His twin sister, Titus's twin sister. Olivia, I think, trying to remember. I think she had shooed Outsadi off her young handmaiden. If not, she does now and tells her to go find this and that and a couple. She has some writing to do. Olivia's going to be burning the midnight oil. You can already feel the gathering of her formidable intellect and will around that table as surely as you measuring out a cut with a sword or distance with a bow. That crease on her brow. You do know her very, very well, although it occurs to you in this moment, there are still parts of her that remain a mystery to you. You don't actually know how she runs the city. You've never paid that much attention to it.
Never wanted to. As she's starting to get all that kind of stuff ready and sitting behind that desk. Like, Marcus, I know that you'd like to have a few words with Olivia, but I need to make one thing clear. If we are to go on this trip, I would like tonight for you, sister, Sharon, that child, and that fossil Rutilius to come down in the kitchen and cook dinner with me. So we could have one last meal as a family. Marcus, you're more than welcome to join.
Appreciate it, Domino.
I'll get that fossil and baby, and I'll get started.
Well, brother.
I'll see you in a torch.
As you will.
And then I'll walk out. Rutilius! Yeah. Where are you, you old fool? I don't know how to cook. Yeah,
I love that. I know, Dominique.
Get ready. Yeah. I'm sore, but I gotta do my duty.
Jerem starts crying. No, he doesn't. He doesn't.
Well,
He's just laughing.
Boy, hi. Yeah, it's like
Because he has to eat some of Daddy's cooking. Yeah.
They're yelling at Rutilius, and then they immediately like, oh, there you are. Like, just like baby talk immediately. And yeah, he'll go off.
Okay. You are alone with the young lady of Juramentum. You are able to read the lines of stress and care on her face, on her still unblemished face. And in that way, you have a moment. She has a, perhaps, up to you as the PC to decide how it hits you. But she doesn't seem terribly patrician in that one moment. She seems like a young woman trying to fill the shoes of people who have decades more experience than she does. And then it's gone. And the wholly confident, competent, intellectual Lady Olivia is back. Marcus, please, have a seat.
Thank you, Domino. Can I sit down? So,
What weighs on thee?
I've been thinking a lot for the last few days,
I imagine so.
as I'm sure we all have been. I have been considering who we might be able to turn to as allies for what is to come.
Please, elucidate.
Very well. So, by my reckoning, Zahar, who we still have trade with, is out. We cannot turn to them. They're completely suckled to the teat of leftist regime. They have made good money from them. They won't be opposed to selling us out for whatever reason, if they can turn a profit to that.
I have thoughts on that, but please continue.
My thoughts were that we turn to Macaria as a potential stopgap moment by
This is both in and out of character as I'm writing things down.
by seeing if we can, for a short term, plump up our numbers with mercenaries. Evander and Jason already have history there, and I trust Jason, and through him I trust Evander.
That has some potential, also some pitfalls.
Of course, there's always going to be, but I mean, we have raw resources abundant here.
We do.
And that might be a nice way of trading through with just simple coin. Coin anybody can come up with. Lumber, herbs, healing herbs and whatnot. Might be a better trade for them.
I'm to understand that aside from nutmeg, actually, perhaps our most coveted resource here would be Maiden's Favor, the herb of Maiden's Favor. It doesn't grow even as close as Pullix. It does not grow there. And it has a number of uses, quite a few. We do not have the coin to hire them, so it would have to be some sort of... Yes, potentially. Go on.
I thought that perhaps those two might act as envoy to the mercenaries on their home island, and perhaps Evander, him being an avenger himself, being as tried and true as he seems to be, might actually know somebody, another chosen or two or three that he might have adventured with in his time.
Jason is such a sweet soul. I hesitate to send him back.
Evander will go with him if he goes. I don't. And if he asks Evander, I believe he would accept.
You're most likely correct. Do you know that Evander does not understand what chosen are? He doesn't know that he's extraordinary. He just told me he just knows that he always wins his fights.
Yeah, if he'd never had a real training, until recently I would have known what the chosen was. I grew up my entire life in Pullix. We never had one out there.
Point. I suppose I have a rather skewed perspective on such, with my grandsire being who he is. Is.
Smile at her apologetically.
She does. There's a wry smile on her full lips as well. And you said you used the plural, however. More than one idea?
I do. And this one might be a bit more touchy, but considering that, as far as I have learned or discovered or heard, no one knows much about Wace's people. I know she's religious, I know she's young, and I know that, well, she feels like she would be something akin to the patrician of her own people. I don't believe sending her would be great or would be a good idea at all, because she'd never come back and they would never need to. They would never need to come and help us.
That's out of the question.
However, if we sent someone, an emissary of our own, a statesman or stateswoman of our own, to them, we can perhaps open negotiations. Maybe even, I know we're pretty welcoming here, see if they would like a temple in our city.
To the Dread Mother?
Is that the Dread Mother? Well, whatever. Maybe not that, but still, you know what I mean.
That would be... Aren't you under investigation for heresy at the moment?
I'm always under investigation for heresy. Since I came here.
And she is laughing a little bit at this.
But my point is, they're completely unknown. Not only to us, really, we have limited understanding of them through Wesa, but to Leptis Regium as a whole, they are a complete mystery. It might buy us some time.
You have a strong point. I have been sitting here racking my brains over... The problem is, aside from sheer might, which Leptis Regium does have, the Empire has, technically not part of it yet, but essentially is. They have such a depth of understanding. They've been against and overcome every imaginable enemy of almost 3 millennia. And the Uralit, her people are the Uralit.
Thank you.
I've spoken with Wesa at some length, my former handmaiden, and she's told me a great deal about them. Although it's all, and this is not to impugn her very sharp interpersonal sense, but she left when she was 11 winters. It's through the eyes of a child.
Understood.
Precocious as she no doubt was.
She's brilliant in so many ways, but a child's understanding of the world is a child's understanding of the world.
Yes. Emissary.
I'm loath to bring him up, and I know that the Lord would probably not agree to this, but given his relationship to Wesa, and their obviously close connections, I saw her when they were at the eulogy. I saw them when they were at the... Actually, I didn't see them there, but I've heard that they're pretty close, but I think Rutilius might be one of the best statesmen we have in this situation.
Oh, he is.
And he would understand the situation and be able to let them know of the situation without giving away the farm, so to speak.
Wesa has said that her people venerate age and the wisdom that comes with it. Perhaps his advanced years would not be such a detriment.
I would be worried about his personage, but I don't believe that as an emissary he would be harmed, especially seeing as we have Wesa here. I wouldn't ever dream of using her as a hostage, of course. But by their reckoning, by what they know and what they think, it's a completely unknown factor. I don't believe they would hurt him because they would be concerned about her.
Perhaps. I have thought of a potential alternative, although it is... Ultimately, you understand that my Lord Brother will be making these decisions.
Of course. I was hoping he'd actually stay, but...
No, he's right. I'm becoming less a lady and more a part of this desk of late. But from what I understand, they venerate the Chosen, the Earlet do. They believe the term is Aski Teotl. Right? They have a specific word for them with substantial religious and temporal significance there, meaning to them. I have wondered what they would think of 6 of you.
More?
And, of course, the rather gruesome background to Winter's Harvest and its current mistress. Surely they could not ignore her.
If I were them, I would see this as an opportunity to gain information on a continent that they have very little foothold in. To see what kind of enemy Leptis Regium might be in the future.
So what we're really saying, Marcus, is that we need to find a way to drag them into our fight.
Exactly. I knew it was coming to you.
It feels so low.
It does, but I mean, when the Utini attacked my village, we sent my son out to find help. It was heart-wrenching. I hated it. I hated every second of it. But ultimately, our backs were against the wall, and we had no other option.
It was the right thing to do. She reaches out and just, without thinking about it, she squeezes your hand.
I accept her squeeze. I squeeze it back. I know, but it was still hard. I'm grateful that he was safe, that he found you all, that he brought you to us. This feels similar to me, but backs against the wall at this moment. And we have 38 days.
I know. I make an insight roll.
Oh no, I got a 1.
Okay. And then with advantage, make a persuasion check because I want to see how deeply your words are imprinting on her.
Persuasion would be 15.
She's silent for a few beats. I would usually ask my advisor, Katrin. I have a question for thee, though, that I would put to thee. Will you take it?
I will answer anything you ask of me as honestly as I can.
The advisor is going to be in her family hut, and not the one in the city. For some days, I imagine, she has quite a bit of research ahead of her. She thought she could get it done in a day, but I know how these things go, believe me. And she actually looks with, for a moment, just undisguised fondness at the absolute disaster that Katrin has made of her books, of her otherwise neat and orderly and meticulously arranged books. Wella Dewshine. She is what... the young Wella Dewshine. She has the old power. In her, it manifests as the Ilocana word for it is Paluit. I believe the translation for it is a whistler. She's just now returned. The Waterwoods and other, I suppose, reinforcements from the Shire, they wanted to stop and perform some sort of ritual before they got here, but they're a day behind her. She's been out for a very long time. She's missed 2 awakenings. She was successful, though.
Blessed be to the light.
Do I have the right to ask her to turn around again and go off on a mission that might kill her? Or should I let it lay for a bit?
Part of me believes that demanding anything of anyone against their will isn't right. And she might accept it because you are who you are. And because the dream, the city, means as much as where it is. If she is as...
She's the best traveler we have.
I don't know if we have the option of saying no. The worst she can say is no. You can preface it all by saying, you do not have to accept. And then lay it out to her. Lay out the situation and let her make her own decision based on that. She might want to spend a bit of time with her family, of course, but time isn't really not on our side here.
No, it's not.
And I think that the dream means enough for her that she was willing to make a trip all the way to the Shire to bring more of her friends and kith and family to here. That she understands the gravity of the situation, or at least will, once it's spoken plainly to her.
The only other alternative is Merick, but I will not ask my lord brother's sword brother to go anywhere. They're too good of a fighting unit.
He was talking about leaving anyway, and I don't know if he'd be coming back. I don't know him well enough.
No.
But we do know that
Merick.
Wella...
Merick is utterly committed to the dream.
I would say the same of Wella. If she spent 2 years of her life to do this task for us, I just don't think we can dissemble about it. We can't be roundabout in it. We have to be direct.
Look at you. Beacon Gaius. I hear him, his erudition, seeping into you now, Marcus. When you arrived here 2.5 moons ago, you hardly would have used the word dissembling. And spot on. Well done.
I've noticed the changes and it's kind of unsettling, but I like it.
I think I have something for you. Check back later. Before you go.
Yes, Domina.
Thank you. I think I've arrived at a decision with Paluit Wella Dushine.
If you have need of me, just let me know. I'll be there.
Now, I will perform. I'm excellent with the loom. I am a disaster in the kitchen. And I will go and perform my sisterly duties.
Must be a family trait.
Well, it kind of is.
Take the liberty of hearing pots and pans and a big cursing.
Sure.
Can I ask a favor of you? Of course, always say no, please, but I was really hoping to get an understanding of the different houses. I know nothing of the various houses, and it feels to me like it's something that may come up quickly and often in the days to come. Obviously not now, but if we find time, maybe an hour here, an hour there, you're extraordinarily busy, and I understand that. I would never presume on your time.
And kind of to her horror, all of a sudden, you see her kind of tearing up.
Lady, take a step forward. Are you all right?
Apologies.
Nothing to apologize for.
Right. Downstairs. And she gets She rises, and you go down with her.
I open the door for her.
She smiles, nods.
Take a quick liberty of the kitchen of Patron will be sitting and writing, and just kind of doing that before going back to the hut, just for a very quick thing, and then Rutilius is there.
You ask Katrin to write something for you?
Oh yeah. No, I just figured that she'd be studying before going back to the hut very quickly, because I'm sure she want to have a last word with Livia, and then Jerem's on my table set, everything's there, and then while you guys are walking up, Titus will walk past, obviously just covered in everything that
flour and mashed eggs that you stepped on.
Oh, finally, your dinner's ready, and I'll grab whatever Katrin's writing on and start wiping off my hands. Just gonna make it just like a very big.
He's going to kill you.
Big brother thing to do. Yeah, just like, come on, have a seat. Yeah, and then it's like.
Katrin looks at you like she's about to cast some kind of death spell on you, and she raises up, and you see.
I said we had wanted dinner with my family. Stop working. And I was kind of pushing this stuff away.
Someone text Anika. I need to know what Katrin would do.
Cliffhanger!
She has a. Actually, no, that's a good one. You may get her with that. We'll see.
Can't wait.
We'll see what Anika says. Well, that part I will not weigh in upon. Make a just for stuff and giggles. Make a roll and let me see how the cooking goes. Oh wow. Okay.
Is that a new die?
That's a natural 1.
It seems to be the night porn.
It's no longer a die.
Forget die jail.
This is why you need to die.
No, that's
burn that sucker
that's
down.
That's die exile. Yeah.
See ya.
All right.
I do have help for Rutilius though. He's telling me what. Don't burn it.
Wonderful, Lord Brother. Wonderful.
I know you'd like it. And he just keeps shoveling it.
Yeah.
Jerem picks up nutmeg like Remy and Ratatouille and actually makes the stew better. I don't even notice him doing it. Actually, it's pretty good.
Rutilius, make a perception check.
Oh, man. For him?
No, for you.
Okay. That's a 3.
Okay. So you do not notice Rutilius grabbing Jerem. No.
I love it.
As he's about to start eating some of this horribly burnt and scored porridge with just chunks that are kind of floating around, and it's awful.
Okay. I'll take a sip of it and be like, oh my goodness. And then I'll walk in the other room and just be like comically throw it on the ground and then just pull out red meat, hardtack, and just like a charcuterie. It's just, I know how to cut things. Just lay that out.
And your Katrin, presumably, Rutilius and Livia sit there with you long into the night.
Rutilius, tell me your favorite story. Just shit like that.
And he does. Remind me sometime. He tells you the tale of the lioness rampant.
Ooh.
Which you had actually never heard before.
This guy's always repeating himself.
Yeah?
Perfect.
She, the character is one of the 3 women in the history of the Old Empire who earned or carved up for herself the title of Imperatrix. She was the last one. All right. So, the night passes. Where did you go back to with Griff? It'd be kind of funny if you went to the common tent.
I think, I probably would have gone to tell Katrin that I successfully managed to get Griff.
I'm sure she's quite relieved to hear that.
Yeah.
I'm a little surprised.
Yeah. Yes. I definitely told Katrin, and I think at that point, I would have taken Griff to either the sparring pit or for a beer. But I'm going to say sparring pit.
Okay.
Sure.
If they do come to the sparring pit, dinner will be ready for them, as we always have dinner ready as a family.
That's true, and the sparring pit is not that far from the commons. It's just basically across the street.
Sounds like
Cover
a
the
nice
children's
date.
eyes.
No, that's not. Yeah, I know.
That's really good.
It's really good.
This is gonna be funny. Make an attack roll for me. Let me see how you're.
How are you doing this
Let me
evening?
see how you're doing.
Hey. Can I? Well, no. 5.
Okay.
I was poisoned my family. You don't get to reroll.
I know. I just was holding it.
Killed my son, my father, and
My hand released it in a way that didn't feel
Plus
normal.
5, yeah?
You have the plus
so
five
it'd
to it,
be
right?
10.
Yeah, 10 total.
Okay.
Okay. I will adjudicate that in a moment. So, Merick, Wesa, you walk up. You see this really, now that it's full night, truly lovely procession of candles. And you see them holding almost a vigil around the compound. Both Kithki, of course, but so different from the Touchstone compound with its masterful ceramics and its repeating patterns and its strong, defensive self. The Dushine compound, you can freely walk in and out. They have some soft linen curtains. When it's colder weather, they'll close the doors, but they essentially, like mini Kithki, even in Juramentum, they don't lock anything. A lot of the huts don't even have locks.
I'm observing the faces and expressions of the Kithki around and trying to determine if it's a joyous or a sorrowful expression on their face, kind of based on the decision they may have made.
You do. You look, and even though it's dim, and even though you haven't participated in these kind of clan-wide rituals before, and again, it's not just the Dushines now. It's also the associated healers, and sometimes they're Seppu. So it's like half the Kithki in the city gathered up. Whatever speechifying was going on before, whatever caucusing, that's all done. And you're seeing them as they come up to her. You do see Granny Dushine, and she has a pack on, and she has a traveling cloak on. And you see them one by one coming to the creek that runs through the compound and letting the candles go as they come up to her. How long do you watch?
For a good few flickers, at least. I mean, more than flickers.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of stunned right now, so I'm observing, processing.
There's very little talk. There are a lot of tears, although surprisingly few people sobbing, like they've already done a lot of it. Some hugging her, others kissing her, some giving her somber nods. And you see, you notice, because even though she's your elder too, you see one of her daughters, an accomplished healer of her own, Korma.
Is Jasmine there?
She is not. No, she's not. She was one of the half of the Kithki who was not associated with this decision. And Jasmine and any of the building Kithki are busy as heck right now. There's just 24/7. There's stuff to do. Her daughter, because I'm letting you ride out. You had a really good insight check earlier, I believe.
Yeah, it was 19.
It's like a 19. Yeah. Her daughter, Korma, who is still your elder, is off to one side and is waiting, and there may be half a dozen other healers around her that are watching all of this thing, and there's a different intent around them. It certainly isn't victorious. There's no rejoicing on any side here.
A sorrowful transition.
But there is a sternness and a resolve as her eldest daughter is just, her eyes locked on her. And it's a rare hardness on a Dushine face. And you can see her sisters, both literal and by vocation, holding hands with Korma.
Do I know, or can I roll or figure out, is it appropriate to, at some point, to approach her, or do I need to let this flow out first?
It should finish. It should finish, yeah.
Mm.
So you're there for a while. You're seeing this. No human in Juramentum has ever seen I'm not going to name it yet, but has seen this ritual. So
I whispered away, so I can't let her travel alone.
Do you know where she's going?
Back to the Shires.
I wonder if that's already been accounted for. Someone might be going with her. Let's see.
And almost in answer to that, you see the first of the processioners after he sets the candle in the creek, and it floats down toward the Great Kogi River.
Are there any new faces from the arrival?
He turns and he stands next to her.
Sorry.
You haven't seen them yet.
Yeah.
It's dark right now, though, Corey. You could even with your vision, you could easily miss a couple new faces in here. But your gut tells you that that the Peluit Wella Dushine, who we gamed out, I think that was off stream a long time ago, who had started that process and back, you're pretty sure that she would have sought you and the handful of Kithki left with the old power out. Because all of you kind of always had a bond. You always understood that you had more responsibility to the community than anybody but a granny.
That makes sense.
So she would have checked in with you. You just, you don't think that they're here yet. And so you see one and eventually a second one, and it looks like they're about, ironically enough, about the same number that are standing around her eldest daughter now toward the end or around Granny Dushan.
It's almost like a voting?
That, no, that's done. You think Wace is probably right, because you're seeing telltale signs of them. They don't actually have packs on yet, but you see that they have traveling boots on. Some of them are armed, which would be quite unusual for Dushans in the city. And
fuck, sorry.
Yeah, no, it's horrible. It's awful.
No, it's just
It's horrible. And finally, gonna make one. Huh. Okay.
I told her her faith is my fate. Now what do I do? Because I've read you.
You feel very different from her elder, more, when push came to shove, martial counterpart. You still feel the weight of a granny's gaze on you. More an invitation than the lead that you could feel your own granny, fill grown Kithki with. And you feel her a subtle, but definite pull.
This is her daughter?
No, this is her. This is her. Yeah. She couldn't have spotted you in the crowd, but she might have sensed you.
I give him a little pat.
I need to go. Start walking.
Some of the Dushines and associated healers give you nods as you walk by, but nobody's, again, unusual. Nobody greets you verbally. They just acknowledge you and continue to move on. Okay. And you're so used to Kithki like touching you and playing with you and asking you how you're doing. Just walk. Most of them go back into the compound, and then the ones who are dispersing along the smaller houses along the creek, they just, again, nod to you, acknowledge you, but they don't say anything.
I understand.
Yeah. And you come up, so you have half dozen here with Korma, half dozen with Granny, and then you're coming up. As you're coming up, Korma's group shifts closer to her, almost like a mirror. Whether or not that's part of the ritual, even you don't know, but they're standing almost exactly opposite each other,
right?
Like with the granny and her daughter, as the centerpieces.
Right. I look at one and then the other.
Mother, a moon's time, 2 at the most. And my granny nods. Daughter, the words were hard earlier. but I respect your decision and yours, your process. And you're right. Actions do have consequences, all of them. Most of all, those who have the winters behind them to know exactly what they're doing. Walk with me. And she nods to Korma.
You can see he's barely holding out to say something, and he's just going to hold back.
Korma gives an almost severe nod. She looks at you with pale, neutral eyes.
Give her a hard stare back.
She takes it, just kind of unresponsive. You can see her entire group looks serene, resigned. It's hard exactly to say, but
resolved almost.
Well, certainly resolved.
Yeah.
And you start walking. You cross the small little bridge nearest to the Dushine compound, and you start walking toward the main gate of the city.
Should I, Corey, know that Yulia and the touch gem's use of the mother's touch is acceptable, where the Dushines it's like anathema, and is that the problem, or is it something I should find out in character?
That's certainly factored in. There is some layer to this that you are not grokking, because even as tight as the Kithki are, the healing culture is a whole subculture under that.
Right.
So you don't understand the nuances of their process any better than, honestly, they understand the ins and outs of the Myrmidon.
Right.
They just know that, okay, these are our warriors and we need to heal them.
Right.
Even though you knew a lot of the people at that, as you passed them, of course, almost all of them. So she puts her hand on the shoulder of the first kind of stout Kithki who stopped. You do recognize him, actually not as the Dushine, but as one of the deeper ferns. His name escapes you in the moment because he's more recent to the city. Mm-hmm. Squeezes his shoulder, and then she goes to due north of the healing hut, and you see her close. She lowers her head, and then she walks to the side of the healing hut, and she puts her lips to it and kisses it. Turns away, crying openly, comes back to you, and resumes her path.
I don't understand. You did what you must, as Yulia did.
I did a thing.
You saved many lives.
Merick, every action has a result. Fighting, not fighting, taking a gift, using it, twisting it, all of that. Maybe in the moment what I did was right. I know that I'll never do that again. What Granny Touch Gem did was right. I don't know how she found that space in her, but I know that she acted as a pure vessel of the Magna Mater.
And me, and my decisions to use certain things to defend, but not necessarily from the Magna Mater.
Oh, sweetheart, I wish I had those answers. Plumb out. And you can just see her face is exhausted and beaten down. Actually, maybe even worse than the original that was facing an enemy or a danger. This was her own people. It was Korma. Most of them, and the deeper fern behind you, he starts to draw up to spit. Sabrix, don't. It's crap. It's all of it. It's crap. The sergeant's right. You did what you had to do. They'd all be dead. A lot of those healers over there, and they're turning on you. No, they're standing by their convictions. And Korma's right. If even one of them doesn't have faith in me, as their head, I have to re-earn that. There are places, actually, near, not that far from Juramentum, that have sprung up. They're a bit of a mystery, and I've never had the time to plumb them. They're strong with the Mother's touch, Merick. I'm going to go there, and I'm going to visit these places, and I'm going to see if I can cleanse myself. And when I come back, they'll have another caucus.
Shall I go to cleanse myself? Will that help me? I'm struggling between my commitment and dedication to a family and a dream, and my word to you that your fate is my fate.
She turns now and actually stops. The few Myrmidon who are left, who have to be swapped out to operate this gate, a specialized gate, are there. Sergeant, Granny, and
I will ignore that
yeah,
for now.
Yeah.
Until the word actually officially comes from the right channels.
He just had the pin on. You should definitely recognize it.
Not at night.
They got torches by the gate. Gotta see. Open it up. Okay, whatever.
They're just not. They're
I'm not going to in this moment. I'm
There's
not
only
going to do
12
anything.
of them anyway.
I'm not going to correct him in this moment, or even show the pin. It's not.
He has your. Yeah, you could, but she fully turns to face you, and she takes your hand in hers. She looks like she's aged a decade in these since the battle. I mean, you can, because remember, I'd always emphasize how she was kind of this, she still had a little bit of the sunshine in her hair and in her eyes and everything. And you can see there's more gray than blonde now. The lines have deepened across her face.
In our greatest need right now, and the second of the wisest is leaving.
If we're going to have this fight, Merick, I'm not old enough to remember when the Kingi broke with us, but I know the tales. If we're going to have this fight, we have to remember who we are, or there's no point in winning.
Don't lose yourself.
That's what I'm trying. I can't answer your question yet about the springs, but you have the feeling of a man who's going on a journey himself.
Should I go and will the springs help me?
I don't know yet, but I'm going to find out.
Yes. Ready? You were saying?
You can almost hear her think. She says, when I get back. Oh. And she pulls you in and she whispers to you, we've always worried about you, but you've always survived. You're a survivor, Merick. You'll make it. So will I. And she says that softly enough that it's only for your ears.
I lean in. Thank you. One last question. I need your advice.
She separates from you, but only,
He whispers the smallest of whispers. A corona's coming. Should I inform someone?
Her lips twist in an ironic smile, and she says, that, my dear, gives your hand a kiss, lets it go, is above my pay grade. And she turns, open the gates, please. So.
And real quickly, I grab her and just give her one last
Okay. Okay, sure.
And a kiss.
Okay.
She was getting paid?
This whole time I've been doing this for free. So as we move toward our intermission, I'm going to remind everyone that even though this has been a character deep one. If you must leave us, if you are amongst our faraway friends who must leave us soon, be sure to let us know who earned your MVP nod tonight. And if you have a chance, if you're not going to have a chance to stay with us until the end, and you want to see it and give everybody a fair shake, you can leave a comment with it too. And we will be coming back to you soon enough, in about 15. Yeah.
About 15.
Sounds good.
All right. Thank you very much.
See you guys soon.
Greetings, weary travelers, and welcome to Constructed Chaos, a channel dedicated to all things D&D, including live play streams and podcasts, 3D printing, painting, crafting, homebrew content, and guides for players and dungeon masters alike. Join our Discord for even more special benefits, announcements, and free downloadable content. And until next time, go out there and make some chaos.
We lift our voice to greet the rising sun. Your splendorous touch burns away the dark. With a soft golden hue, your world is made anew. We follow the path you've laid.
Welcome back. Thank you for rejoining us.
Candle of
You got the falsetto with that.
We did it. We did it.
We did it! We're back.
And we're back.
Inflaming. Most exciting part of it. I love that.
Laughter rings out on this desultory Farah night as Nilishli Griff dumps you on your ass in the sparring pit.
Oh, thank God.
Harsh, bro.
And he and at the same and then at the same time he and the two of you wind up in this tangle because remember he's not healed yet. He's not even halfway. He's not even at 50% healed.
Easy on.
So he took advantage of you. Took advantage of that and just tangled your feet up and swept you off your feet with by kicking your legs out from under you.
Yeah, the commentary's right there. Just keep it PG.
Very good.
That's nice.
Oh, crap. That hurts. Oh.
Here's you right. Don't knock me off my feet again.
Yeah, all right. I'll remember that one, but no promises.
She stands up, helps him up.
Okay. Oh. He looks down. There's just a little bit of blood on his bandage. I'm getting old, Nelly. So, doesn't matter. And he starts walking across, smelling at the food. When the intrusive thoughts win, Merick.
Are you supposed to be crying by a gate?
So, you cross the road to this gathering. You hear laughing. You see torchlight spilling out from the common tent. Or do you want to go someplace quieter?
Where Griff's walk towards the tent?
A little. I mean, he's taken a few investigatory steps toward it.
And can I see who's in the tent if there's anyone I know?
You actually hear. I'm not going to make you make a perception check on this. You hear Marcus's voice in the tent.
Yeah, I'm gonna sheath my sword.
Okay.
Because I was Winter's Harvest was to the side.
Yeah, no, I'm assuming whenever you're in the sparring, unless you tell me, you are not unleashing Winter's Harvest in these sparring situations.
Yeah, I'm gonna sheath the sword, pick up Winter's Harvest, and go follow me, and walk towards the tent.
All right. And he follows. And what do they see in the tent, Randy?
Singing, dancing, homemade instruments, like the things that we'd have in Pulux, like the
jug
like
with two X's on it.
How is that?
Okay. Like that, only better, like that. Very well.
All right, Steve. That's your next project. Pollux. We have to recompose the theme song on Pollux made instruments only.
Like Stomp Pollux version.
Complete faith.
And it will make your ears bleed.
Yeah, and just kids having fun, like parents talking, like just a sense of community with the family.
Okay.
Everybody sort of helping cook. The table's laden down.
It's interesting to me that a few, like 100, 150 yards away, not to the compound, but across the creek, is this really solemn, protracted, exhausting ritual that's going on with Granny Dushan. And then, but you're joyously unaware of what's going on over there. Who did you? I know you invited Beacon Andros. Who did you invite? Who else did you invite this night, though? Is this kind of a rotating cast?
Yeah. If Beacon Andros was invited for dinner, it's also going to be Beacon Gaius, because Beacon Gaius is invited to every dinner that we have.
Okay.
Every dinner that we have, and Constance always has a standing invitation if she wishes to join.
And Constance is
Sister Constance of the 12th Letters.
There you go.
Gotcha. Sorry, did I call her Beacon?
No.
Oh, okay, great.
No. You got it right. It's just it's just for because people may not.
So Sister Constance of the 12th Letters, should she want to join us, everybody is always welcome. Any Kithki that comes on in for family night. If it's something a little bit more subdued with like the companions and whatnot, that's just for us. But at that point,
you do smell it. You do smell something in the air because. No, our cantrip candles. No, no, seriously. This is. I'm gonna turn into like Brennan Lee Mulligan up here pretty soon because that candle is making me hungry. It smells like being like being in a bakery. It's making me hungry. But the you haven't seen very many Kithki in here, and even the ones that you do see, very unusual. You know, they kind of poke their head in, tell you hi. The food's right there. They don't take anything. They don't stay and chat. So you know something is going on.
Gotcha. I'm not gonna make an insight check then.
Yeah.
They'd say if they could. They know they can. That's enough.
And Nilishli, you and Griff get. He seems almost nervous. Question mark to be in this gathering. Again, yet another facet of this man that you have not seen before. Because he walks everywhere like he owns the place, just with supreme confidence in his capabilities. And not here. He kind of tentatively stands at the tent flap. You know, looks in. You just what? This is your home. You walk in. You see Marcus. You see his family that you know most of them you know from the trip when you rescued them from Pollux, guided them up here. And he's looking around, looks at the kids especially, and slowly comes in, and then but still doesn't sit down.
Do I notice them yet?
Yeah.
Nilishli, come on over, grab a plate, sit down, have fun.
Hi, Marcus.
Stoic.
What smell is this?
Family dinner. Of a wide and varied nature.
What should I try first?
Whatever you'd like to try. I'd say that one is me wife's. She makes a wonderful souffle. That one over there is me daughter's, and she makes a wonderful stew. We got some roasted meats over there. We got potatoes going on that side. I think someone is Hortensia making pie?
Finally, somebody says it out loud, Dad.
It's always true. Is Hortensia making pie? Did you have pie going?
You just wanted me to work to the bone for this.
All right, to make pie. Go do your thing.
It's so tiring now.
Well, she has pie brewing, so.
I'll be avoiding that one.
Plates over there. Help yourself. Table's up here. Feel free to fab at any spot you'd like. And welcome, Griff.
Make a persuasion check. See how well he feels your warmth.
I have a 6. Big solid. No, 7. Big solid 7.
Okay. He nods to you and just stays. He stays almost at the tent flap. He's taken a step in.
Feel free to drag him.
I'm gonna go grab 2 plates and load them up with meat and potatoes.
Okay.
And then.
But not pie.
The greens are from the garden, so feel free to help yourself to that too.
Aye. She skips the greens.
Okay.
Just meat and potatoes.
Literal meat and potatoes.
Yeah. She's gonna look at Griff and
Not a rabbit.
kind of motion him to come over here. Hold up the meat and potatoes.
Make a persuasion check.
It's like
With
2
advantage.
goths at a family dinner.
Griff does not socialize well with others, guys.
Wait, I think it moved.
It did.
It did.
It
Do you
was-
remember what it was before?
It was here.
The 201.
13.
13? As this contest of wills happens. And he takes another step in, and then you know you have him.
Mm-hmm.
Well done.
And then eventually it's like it's like coaxing in a wild animal in from the cold, really. And eventually he makes it, and he sits on he starts to sit down on the very outside of the table, but then he can't stand to have his back to the flap. So then he moves around and is forced a little deeper into the room to get around the table.
I'm gonna go fill up a flagon of ale.
Okay.
Slide it to him across the table.
Okay. He takes it and just immediately starts drinking. So immediately starts quaffing it, take a little edge off.
Mm-hmm.
And then he looks. Would he do that? Yeah, he would. He gestures over, and I'm gonna say that to accommodate this many people, the Kithki have brought out. Oh, this freaking Kithki. They have brought out chairs and various tableware just from their own homes because they know that these gatherings are happening nightly, and there's no way that just your family could keep up with the food needs. Right. So they're just like they're bringing things in too.
I always kind of considered it more of like a potluck when it came to the Kithki. Yeah. So it's like bring whatever you'd like, everything's welcome. So
your attendance is down tonight. It's still quite a few people there, but attendance is down tonight. So he gestures, and there's a Kithki, a sturdy Kithki stool and you see it just slide across to him. Most people don't notice because he's kind of off to one side. A few look over. Oh God! All right.
This troublesome kid.
Yeah, it's worse than that, Corey. So he pulls it over, and he looks almost like he's testing it out to see, and you see there's a wince on his face. His hands goes to his still, mostly unhealed wounds.
Do I notice that?
Probably not. Make a perception check with disadvantage. You're
hosting.
You're hosting. Yeah.
No, I don't.
Okay. So, a quick grimace on his face. He gives you a wry look, and then you hear from behind you, "Oh my God! What is that man doing? I just can't believe what I'm seeing!"
Well, Tansy, take a breath. Lots of things happen here, you don't. Oh my God.
Can you get this woman some ale?
She's fixated. Let's take some of that salt.
Mole, it's fine, Mole. It's fine. Your wife goes up. No, it's devils.
Burning.
It's all devils.
Your pie's burning.
She gets up and she wipes tears out. Help me. If you remember that I'm your mother, help me. And
I don't remember that.
It's your wife takes her mom over to
teeth crack.
Griff kind of hunches his shoulders. Mouse, sorry to you.
Can I detect how open the wound is at this point?
Make a medicine check.
5.
Okay.
Oh.
No wisdom based.
You sounded like it would be so much more.
Yeah.
I'm fine. Exactly what I needed.
Exactly. That was right on point. And then actually make an Arcana check, Ellie.
You're just being really nice.
10.
10. Okay.
Twice as good as
this with the 5, obviously there are going to be things that you miss. Yeah. So the only thing that you know with the 5 is that it's taking him, again, still quicker than a normal human, but for Chosen, because you're used to people getting damaged, you know how quickly you're healing, etc. It's taking him a long time to recuperate from this.
Okay.
Because this is now almost a 10-day out from the fight, and he's still bloodied.
Okay, I'm gonna whisper to Marcus. Marcus.
Aye.
Griff has a wound that is not healing well. Would you deign to take a look at it?
Of course. You'll let me.
Aye. I'm gonna walk over to Griff and I'm gonna whisper in his ear and say, I think I know someone who can help you with the wound, if you let him.
He eyeballs Marcus.
I eyeball him right back.
I'm fine, Nelly. I'll heal. Don't worry.
Well, we must go to the island soon, and you need to be healed by then.
I mean, I could take a look. It won't cost nothing. You won't owe me nothing.
I'm good.
Of course.
And he just leans back. And you kind of see he does this odd thing where his face closes, but his hand is just out there waiting for yours.
I put my hand in it.
Okay. All right. So the next morning, as the Fellowship tends to its various exertions,
I want to make one request. I want to go to the leatherworker. That's possible.
I want you to make a wisdom check for me, and I want to see if you are at disadvantage, because this has been an incredibly draining day for you. And what you really want to do is find your wife and go the hell to sleep.
Oh, have I not slept yet?
No. This is all the same day.
Then yes, I will sleep first.
Okay.
Yes,
all the same
I will
day.
go to my wife and sleep. That's no. Yeah.
Okay.
Then after the Vornzi and Jerem and Livia go to bed, I did want to have a word or two with Rutilius.
Okay. Not nearly as exhausting a day for you, Titus. So that can happen.
Yeah, it's kind of like
this is late. This is late now.
Yeah.
This
after dinner.
is late now. Livia gives you a kiss, and she holds your hand for a moment. This was good. Thank you.
We need to do more of this.
We do. We do, Lord Brother.
And for him, and I look over at Jerem, who's probably passed out in her arms.
Yeah.
She takes him out. For you, you old fossil.
Guilty as charged.
Rutilius, I used to think that I was doing right by my grandfather and my grandmother, but I feel as though I'm doing it right for him now. Am I doing it right for you?
To be clear, you've waited until your sister and
until they're
Jeremy have
gone,
left.
but doing
Okay.
it like for, you know.
He looks after them for a while. There has been no greater honor in my life, Titus Metellus Glabrio Vorn, than to take the last bit of your name and append it to my own. I'm fine. I'm more than fine. I'm exactly where Quaelathon, in his infinite wisdom, has placed me. I have no regrets. Not a one, not now.
Did they find it this hard when they started the city?
Harder?
So fucking hard to do what's right.
I am afraid for your lady sister. She's very good at... She's like one of the great cats. A lioness herself. So good at hiding the wounds that I can see the strain. I don't know if she knows how to ask for aid.
I've noticed too. I don't know how I can help.
You were always easier for me to read.
That's because you wouldn't leave me alone.
Why does this thought cross your mind, Domine?
I'm afraid.
You'd be a fool if you weren't. We're outnumbered.
I was always a fool.
You'd be an ignoramus if you weren't, and that you've never been. Appearances to the contrary. And he goes through like a hard hacking fit.
Yeah.
Spits up.
Pour him some water, go back over, give it to him as a cup. You have to stay around longer.
see there's a little bit of, just a little bit of blood in the spit.
I'm just gonna take it off, put a hanky thing in.
He seems tired, but he's there with you.
What can I do about Julius? I don't understand.
These are deep grudges, my boy. Old wounds that festered. I looked at that crypt. That was no Utini hand that took your uncle and bore his earthly remains away like a damn thief in the night.
I'm sorry that happened to him on your behalf. I can only imagine. You've saw him from his first day to his last, and then to this. But I promise you, on our name, I will bring him home. I love you.
My life and whatever strength I have left is thine, Lord, my Lord.
My father. And then I'll just kind of like pick him up and start going to bed.
Okay.
I'll see you guys later.
I gotta go. He does not trust himself to reply to you.
Yeah. I know that he can't. I know I want him to hear it.
And you feel how frail he has. I mean, he's old, but you feel how frail he's become, and you wonder if those final exertions at the 12th Lighter Shrine, at the Shrine of the Seekers, where he fought, like a man in his 20s with everything that he had, if that isn't going to be the end of him. And for whatever reason, Marcus's golden light either hasn't come or hasn't had an effect, but you can just feel his life force ebbing.
I feel like he has a suspicion like he wants it to end, like he's ready. He doesn't want to ask for more. And that's why I'm having these conversations with him now. And I basically want to say that within saying that, Father, like very briefly, but very quickly. Like, we'll be okay.
You're kind of surprised because you thought he had just fallen asleep, and it's almost like something urgent woke him up.
Yeah, as I'm putting him to bed.
Yeah. Domini.
Yes, Julia.
The major doma of Lady Vale. Before she left, there was an odd interaction. She saw Jerem saw her. I don't know how, but I suppose the major doma, Starstep, yes?
Yes.
She goes through practices every day before dawn. And somehow the boy saw her. She came in disturbed, muttering, saying something that is impossible, or it was all wrong. And she approached him, actually not far from where we were at. It's when one of the Nenas had him.
Yeah. You.
She bowed to him like she would bow to you. And she whispered something to him. And she sought me out. I was sleeping. She waited, and she asked me the tale of Jerem. And I told her I did not think it would be against thy own will or wishes.
No, it's well known.
She seemed amazed. And she said the boy had somehow seen her exercises and was trying to imitate them.
I can't wait until he chooses his name.
I don't know. Maybe she's wrong, mistaken. Maybe it was a trick of the pre-dawn gloom.
No, it's no trick. It's my boy.
How can a boy of 6 moons, Domini? she has some ability, I don't know. But how can he comprehend that, let alone try to ape it?
I'll lean in and be like, because he's a fawn. Yeah, then what is Bill start laughing? That's bullshit. This is so fucking proud right now. My boy.
As
go to bed, you old fool.
Oh yeah, and then basically soon he has one of those things where one of the things that can happen with people who are so depleted or quite advanced in years, where as soon as he laughs, he just almost instantly drifts off. And I imagine Titus carefully and tenderly tucking him away
entirely.
And his room is always been at the bottom. It's not far from his office. And you know that it's to...
Oh, no, he's in... Oh, yeah, no, okay. That makes more sense. Because he was in the old room, my room, but...
Oh, no, you're right. I'm sorry, Donnie. No, you're right. You had done that. No, you had done that. So he's in your old bed.
Yeah.
My God. Okay.
And there's a crib in there.
Yeah.
And then there's... Oh, actually, no, Olivia has Jerem. And then there's a cot outside. So he's sleeping in Titus's room, which is just adorable.
There actually is a crib in your room.
Oh, okay. I just didn't know because Olivia was going
she
and locking
takes
Jerem behind him.
Mm-hmm.
And I...
Oh, no, she's
keeping
him right
there. Yeah.
and
he'll just lay down on the cot and just kind of look over the map and kind of like... He'll actually burn the midnight oil of looking into everything that he remembers from his navigation, sailing stars, all that, and all the weeks and that and trying, and he's up very late working.
Make a navigation roll.
Oh my God. 5.
Okay,
wait. 4, 5, 7.
7, yeah. Okay.
Ugh.
You're struggling with the incomplete information on here because remember this was somewhat speculative that far north, but you know that you're gonna need some help on this to plot out your course.
Thank God we're not fighting anybody. God damn these days.
No, this would have been a rough. No. I was saying it. I was saying at intermission. This would have been a rough night for heavy combat. That would have been sad. So do you, this is up to y'all. Are we picking up the next day and you're getting ready?
Day 37.
To day 30. Okay, all right. That's what I thought.
Is that all right with everyone?
Time's ticking by. We don't got time for all that.
Okay.
Yeah, I do still want to stop by the leatherworker in the morning.
Yes. Okay. In the morning, make an insight check, Merick, with disadvantage.
Coming back over to see me.
Of course, get appropriate.
That's all I can smell at the
Jasmine
bakery.
kisses. I let her know what's
so overwhelming.
I'm so hungry for tiramisu right
She had heard. She had heard. She'd heard. She thinks it's awful.
I also say this is also awful. Well, not really, but I kind of say, give her a I'm not sure what this responsibility sort of thing.
Come again?
The promotion.
Oh, that's right.
Oh.
Yeah, no, that's right.
I will let her know.
So she was so whatever that she didn't even notice it until, because you're not Sergeant Merick to her, you're her husband, you know? And honestly,
this burden was put on me, basically what I would say.
Yeah. Huh. And to think, I was about to give them all a piece of my mind. I'm glad I waited.
Bullet dodge.
You know what I have to say? Do you remember what I told you when you finally said you'd go to the beach with me? Merick touched him. It was 30 winters back, so maybe you don't, but I remember. We actually did game through this. Yeah.
Dude, you're in the doghouse.
Make an investigation roll as you sweat that one.
Keep this one separate though.
Okay, yeah.
So that one I know what the roll is.
Okay.
All right. Not an investigation roll.
So
That one's good. That's a 21.
Thank God.
Wow.
You remember it. You remember it though as yesterday. She said, and everybody at the table was laughing. It's about damn time.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Remember that? Yeah.
I love that.
Because she'd been chasing you since as soon as you got back to the city.
Yeah, I remember that now.
So you tell her, yeah, you confirm that you remember.
And I want to ask her, in your quandary, and I want to just kind of dig deep into that. Has it been resolved?
First part of it, yeah. Has. Do you... Merick, do you want... We should probably wait. You're going to need to be focused. And I need to be focused too. There's a lot of work here.
But there's a future. I need some hope.
I asked Marcus, do you remember when we went there for supper?
Yes, I remember.
Was that only 2 days ago?
It seems like a whole moon's worth.
Moons ago. It's all blending together now. I know how private you are, but I asked him if he'd heal you. I don't know. There's really no way to not have it all at once, but I'm going to try.
Heal this or this?
She scoots on the bed, sits up, takes her hand, and kind of settles into her favorite spot. I have 6 children, and you've been an amazing father to all of them. Obviously, she's using the Elikana words, and there are nuances in there. Mm-hmm. But it is still equivalent to father, with all the rights and responsibilities associated with that, including your 2 sons who survived the Battle of the Broken Tower. I don't know if I can have children anymore. It's rare now. I'm same age as you, 48 winters. But maybe. It's possible. I want Marcus to give you back at least part of what those bastards and Pullocks took, and I want us to try to have a child, if you're willing.
She tears up. There's no other woman I would want to have a child with. He hugs her, embraces her, and kisses her. I'm going on a trip soon. To an island.
And it's going to be dangerous because you all have been secret about it.
It's an adventure.
It's danger.
It's important for the dream and for the survival of us.
It always is. Utini? Oh, thank the mother. Okay. I was afraid you were going to do something crazy with that ship and try to,
We're going after a legend. That's all I need to say.
On that, I trust you completely, my husband.
Will is back, or will be back soon. I have word.
No, she got back late last night.
Thank God.
Yeah. I'm gonna let her rest today, and then a bunch of us are gonna go see her. Me and the crew. Probably a bunch of the healers too. I'm sure she'd love to see you before you leave.
I'll do that.
She's missed Merick. She's so young. She's younger than all of us. She's missed the last 2 awakenings. She's been away from Juramentum. That's terrible.
Both grannies are gone for now.
I can't believe her own daughter said that she was not in a fit state. It pisses me off. Maybe we've been here too long with these doubles, with these humans, but it doesn't, I don't know, it makes me angry.
Some would say you are insane as well for being next to me and supporting me in this journey of ours.
I might have heard that once or twice.
You are my rock. My only rock. You've always been here. I don't know why.
Make another insight check.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty good. 18?
You don't, even with an 18, you don't know exactly what it is, because she's in such a different state than you're used to. But something that you just said, like, moved through her, and you kind of see her shake a little bit, and then it's gone.
If you have another calling, it is okay. A greater calling, as the Magnemar gave me.
Come on. You only put your boots on before I wake up when you want to go someplace. I'll go with you.
Going to get something carved in my vest. Come with me.
Are you going to the uptown leatherworker? Are you going to the upriver or the downriver one, next to Publius Pastries or next to the keep?
Publius Pastry.
They have different connotations to them.
Mm-hmm.
Because the upriver, all the concentration of coin and commerce and whatnot is all in that quote unquote upriver, but around the keep.
The downriver.
Downriver one. Okay. All right.
Bang for your coin.
And who's the leather worker there?
That will be Longinus Minor.
Longinus Major's upriver.
Well, minor,
You have monopoly over things.
So
huh?
minor does not necessarily mean just no. That's really
less,
funny,
but yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily mean like a child. It just means that his father is still alive.
Senior, junior.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I've been friends with him for a while. How old is he?
You honestly, Corey, you haven't been around the Publius Pastry, that southwest corner, very often because there's until lately, like you haven't really been there, so you don't know him as well. Town's still small enough, and he's let's face it, a military resource. So yes,
and he's a decent leather worker. And all
yeah,
that
both of them are very good. And he's about he's kind of where you're at, although obviously younger because Kithki live a considerable amount of time longer. So he's probably mid-30s now, which is late, long in the tooth for this world for humans.
Longinus.
Ave, friend.
Ave.
What brings you to these parts, feller?
I need a sigil or a emblem of sort carved in my vest.
Come on, Sarge. Talk plain.
I need 132 carved right here in this leather vest.
Like marks? I can make marks. You want like 1 mark and then 3 marks and then 2 marks? Just describe the marks to me. Yeah, I can make them. I could probably do them before the rush.
That might be a problem. I don't know how to write it.
Well, you can just ask that young witch in the hut. She knows how to do that. Or if you want to, you can walk all the way up to the Scriveners, but they're going to charge you coin or get you to do a favor.
Do you have the word? Do I know that?
She has Valpyrie. She does not have Darrow.
That's not true.
Oh, did Katrin? No.
Yeah.
The secret of the word.
I just need numbers.
It's so written.
Yeah, whatever the word though, aren't the numerals
I
the
got
same?
Darrow on here, but I don't know.
We're gonna have to nail it because this is not the first time that came up.
But aren't numbers the same?
Sorry, that means got my character.
Like how it is in Arabic.
Yeah. That's old LARP habit. Make an intelligence check, Tatiana, and see how much you've picked up from Katrin.
Smart am
Yeah,
I? Ooh,
smart.
I'm so smart.
Pretty smart.
Intelligent.
Mm-hmm.
It's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that as part of your training, with that much, I'm going to say that as part of your training, Publia also schooled you and finally confirmed, well, you obviously knew this, but she keeps it secret even as Juramentum. Right? That she schooled you in Darrow, in written Darrow.
Okay. Cool.
And then Katrin would have rounded out whatever you needed, I'm sure. So yeah, apparently
I will
well done.
Go over to Publius Pastries and I need some help from Lisa first. I will be back.
Oh yeah, no, she has. They have the best treats. Hey, will you pick me up like a Colin fruit tart over there? I've just been, I don't know, I'm hungry all of a sudden.
Done.
And I walk over to to Publius Pastry. I'm not sure how the entrance is. Is there a door? Do I knock? Is it
I believe it's like a
There's a big
curtain.
yeah. So there is a door, but there's a huge cutout. Did you see the thumbnail, Corey? Do you remember that? Yeah. So that's the front of the bakery, and it's open. It's open right now for you. It's already well into the day. You know.
Waiter, you there?
Oh, Merick.
You see three or four customers milling about. Some Kithki, some of the few grumble bellies in the city bickering over the last Colin fruit tart.
Ooh, Octavia's around.
Waiter, I need a tart.
Yeah, she probably is.
Please.
No, it's mine. I saw it first. No, it's mine. I saw it.
Dear patrons, I think I'll take it. It's actually mine.
No, that's not fair.
I work all day for you, and all night, and I actually need it. So come back tomorrow, and I promise you will get something extra special. But we cannot have fighting here in Publius Pastries. It ruins the energy. Please.
I'm wasting away.
We have many other options for you.
He's not wasting away.
Of course not. Please enjoy our other varieties.
Make a persuasion check.
Oh yeah, let's do this.
And disadvantage because they really want.
No.
I mean, I thought about it, but
No way. 23.
she
way.
is a beloved. I mean, to be fair, no, I did think about giving it disadvantage because these are grumble bellies, but some of the few in the city. But you are a beloved figure amongst the Kithki, so
Generous queen.
and they know that if they push you too far, there could suddenly not be any tarts for a while. So, because for a while you had some mischievous Kithki children who were just camping up on the ledge, waiting and pouncing on things. And
Call the police on your drug dealer. Yeah.
and then the tarts just. That was while Publio was running the shop, and then the tarts just weren't a thing for a while, and they were crying and they were real sad. So, kind of tail between legs, they both, the two cousins, because all the grumble bellies here are related to each other, kind of.
It makes sense.
All right. And they
A
shove.
few that are here, yeah.
Makes sense though.
The scandal.
And yeah, the grumble bellies are the least adventurous and the most prone to, let's just say, the comforts of home.
Mm-hmm.
So for them to take that long-ass journey across the continent from the Shires to Juramentum is pretty unlikely.
I'll be back. And I just hand it over to Merick.
Okay.
Thank you.
Of course.
I need to have payment for something, and I need your assistance.
Oh.
Smells good in here, Jasmine says. Ave Wisa. She's smelling his wife.
You've met my wife before.
I believe so.
Oh, gosh, maybe not.
Well, hi.
I've seen you about, of course.
And you, of course, too.
She says, Jasmine touched him.
Lisa.
And she has the female version of Merick's hands. They're strong, they're calloused. She's actually at this point, she might be the chief mason of the city. I need to look at the organizational chart again, but she's one of the senior masons.
Get Jasmine, advisor, Wesa, as well.
Yes.
Oh, the doubles do put great stock in that sort of thing. You're right.
No
Well
matter.
deserved.
I'm just gonna put away my apron and I'll be ready in a moment.
Do you know how to draw or write? Dara, I need a visual of the number 132 written on something that can be used.
Okay. One moment, and I just search for some parchment. And
You find some. You're running low, but you find some.
find some ink.
And if you make it this big, I actually describe roughly how big, because I'm gonna have them probably just outline it or something.
Sure. Okay, yeah, and it's a bit of a production. You have to carefully crush the ink cube and then drop enough water on it, and even after the inscription, then blot it with some sand to make sure that it doesn't
And I'd say I'm pretty good at this because I'm
Oh, yeah.
writing in my journal all the time. So
because you write in your journal all the time.
Exactly.
Do you write in Daro, or do you write in your native tongue of Valpyrie in your journal? That's a question. You don't have to answer that right now.
it would be Valpyrie.
Okay.
I don't want anyone to read it.
Yeah, no, that's true. Okay.
I guess Nilishli can't read.
She can read Valkyrie, but not Darrow.
She can read Valkyrie. All right, so Nilishli would be the only one that could
Snoop,
read my diary.
You're going to snoop in your gal pal's journal. You might, I could, that's the thing.
bunch of
Nilishli-
weird words.
That's the thing Nilishli might do. Yeah.
I wouldn't mind. I can trust her. But no, I would do it in Darrow. I can tell that that's what he wants, and I do it as meticulously.
Okay.
Sweetly.
How's it look?
Looks charming.
Will be engraved.
May I ask what it's about?
It's to honor those who defended us. The 132 lives that were lost. 132 hours they must watch the flame of the tower.
That's really quite touching, Merick. And I hope you continue to see your heart is still very much aflame.
The Domine does this in various ways. I have learned something from him. At least one thing, if not more. Young he is, he has a certain way with things. Well, off to the leatherworker, off to Longaius to get this added before we have to make way. I will see you soon.
Yes, I'd love that. Be blessed.
Thank you, I owe you one. Gives you a wink. Jasmine, my dear. My love. Let's go.
Vale, advisor.
Vale.
And I go to Longaius and get it engraved there.
You're like
Nice,
the wig.
he's-
She means nothing to me, Jasmine. That's what I'm gonna say.
He's happy.
I'm just like, oh wow.
He does. It's an unusual request, so I did have him roll on his proficiency. He does a damn good job. He almost perfectly replicates. He doesn't know what it is, but never seen this one before. But you get it, and it looks just like what Wesa put down. 132.
Friend, thank you. The Merabdam, thank you. I specifically thank you for doing this. The men who have given their lives to save the city, thank you. You've done a great honor. Just know that.
Just a little thing, especially. Okay. What'd she say? I gotta savor it.
It was the last one.
And and he looks. He actually sets it behind the counter, and then throughout the rest of the day, he's gonna go to the counter and get the guitar and not eat it till he closes shop.
Love that.
All right. You have missed the dawn tide, which is the best time to break out, but you will have one other opportunity later on in the day. So you hustle. You kind of being a collective, you is the fellowship. You hustle. I'll have Anika make her rolls and what she can, because you all did agree basically one day for research. I'll have her roll to see, and yeah, you set out because I know that character though, and I know what she was going to do. She compresses a lot of that. So basically, on day 37 till, you can disembark if you hustle, and we'll see if Katrin screams she needs more time. I have a feeling that she's just going to gather everything up if she has to and take it with her.
Yeah, I think we can do another day in the city if needed by next session.
Okay.
Really would, yeah, whatever fits. Because I know there's a lot of other things that definitely probably need to be addressed.
Her research, those are important roles. I do not want to make that for her.
Absolutely. That's why, I'll just say morning goes on. If we're good by the afternoon, by next session or something, then yeah. But I probably additional day.
I'm going to assume, okay, because I said I was going to assume that you guys left on 37.
Say 36 at dawn.
36 at dawn? Okay.
I mean,
okay.
If not, yeah, if we can, then whatever.
Who's manning the boat and all that? Me. I mean, it's just us, or is it going to be some additional men to row?
There will be some additional men.
Yeah, I interviewed some sailors.
You did. So that's a good note to.
Were the 3 slavers that I recruited that survived? Were they also sailors? Or were they just there for other reasons?
One of them was a sailor, like with the background, maybe even in navigation. Evander knows his way around.
I will,
etc.
Make a recommendation. Oh, first of all, I'll explain.
Yeah, we have to get a proper
what they've
crew.
done.
It's a pretty
and
big
it's
ship.
arrived in.
It's a pretty big
Can't do it
ship.
with 6 people if it's like a brigade.
No, it's if they were, no, that'd be really rough, and none of them are sailors. So you're going to have to recruit. Honestly, Donnie, you do not have the Myrmidon to do this, so you're going to have to recruit from some of the best of the fishermen and the bravest of them who are willing.
A volunteer until needed. But
In the afternoon or at dawn, pre-dawn, either way. Do you remember the chap who you interviewed who said, "I just love the sea"?
Yeah, he was really like, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he shows up, and
Does he have a name?
You actually don't. You can't remember it in the moment.
Okay.
You're sorting through it. It'll come to you.
in the morning, I would send a letter to
Which is unusual
Waysam,
for you.
Pace's Privilege, to be like, put together a crew. I trust your judgment of your character, and find us some of the best fishermen while I gather supplies and kind of chart the course.
So you finish. Okay, so you send that note. Make 2 rolls for me. Make a persuasion. Hold off on the persuasion check, although that will happen. Because that's going to be on the back end. I'm trying to think of what the most appropriate role for this would be. Because you're trying to judge the quality of it. Make a survival roll.
Survival?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I'm gonna say also.
7.
Okay. You have a more difficult pathway, so you do not have the skill kind of needed to know directly. So what you do is you take some time and you watch the interplay of these people, and you just try to reach into the people. So at a higher DC, make a insight check and see if you can discern just basically through empathy and body language and conversations. 26. Okay.
That's mine, brother.
So you watch and you're like, that one. And a little bit of time goes by. That one. And those 2. So you're basically going through, you approach each of them. With that high of a roll, you know exactly how to approach them with advantage. Now make your persuasion check. As you try to, because this is all volunteer, right?
Yes.
18.
18. Most of them come. Most of them will come just for loyalty to the city. You know that some of the ones where Juramentum is a port for them, but it's not necessarily their home, they're going to need a little extra. So are you willing to offer them some of the limited coin that the city has? Do you want to offer them some of the precious nutmeg from the bakery, which is actually worth more than its weight in coin? That sort of thing, or something else entirely, to get kind of your few high quality stragglers on board, literally and metaphorically.
Could I perhaps offer them?
They will not work for treats.
God damn it.
They are not Kithki. They
It's
will not.
worked every other time.
I know. Sorry, hard-bitten Zaharian and Makarian sailors are not going to work for treats. So
hilarious.
Okay, well, I'll offer some nutmeg. Not a ton.
Yeah.
But
no,
some.
it's precious. Okay.
We do have one of the Myrmidon that was the former sailor. We can bring him. So
yeah, I'd probably be the only one of the Myrmidons who will.
Honestly, I should know this off the top of my head, but I cannot remember what the proper crew is for a trireme out of sight,
16.
out of sight of the city. So I will get that.
I think it was 16.
I think it's 16. Could be. It could. I mean, it's gonna be something along those lines.
Already got 7. Okay.
So that happens, and there's something else that's slipping my mind right now. But anyway, you push hard that day to try to get ready, and assuming the rolls cooperate, do you want to depart that afternoon? Is it sliding into evening, basically dusk? The other dawn. Or do you want to wait?
Is the weather favorable?
It's holding. It's holding. It's summer. Sometimes you do get these summer storms, but winter's when it's vicious.
Marcus, would it be all right if we were all able to join you and your family for dinner?
Of course.
I won't cook. And then I'm going to kind of make the entire, we'll start everyone going to dinner at the tent and kick off in the morning.
Okay.
So then we'll have like the day after that.
Trying to think if there's any last minute business, but y'all have done a pretty thorough job. Go ahead.
Livia was supposed to give something to Marcus.
She said call back later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm gonna let her.
That was the
Although
only
it is, although
It is technically.
before, you know what? That's the last. I'll end with that scene.
Okay.
Because I know. Good call, Tony. Thank you.
It's Titus, but.
Oh, there. No, you're right. You're right.
That's fun.
Hopefully by now they know who's playing whom.
I don't.
Nilishli, as we're not to put too fine a point of it. Where do you wind up sleeping? And I'm not trying to be obnoxious here. Because I'm setting the scene.
I make the most obnoxious.
That was him. That was Donnie Highland, ladies and gentlemen. That was not your illustrious GM.
We're having fun this.
I mean, I reckon that she's probably going to be sleeping with Griff.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
This is what would happen.
So he finds a cot. He actually, you guys, he just.
We need laughter in your love scene.
No.
100% because no one was here. I think it's the candle, man. It's making me too giggly.
Yeah, it's
the
doing
dessert.
things to me too.
He
Cantrip candles. That's not a selling point. I don't know what it is.
it's keep hell of a cantrip. So,
10% off your first order.
no, he finds one of the cots in the back, and he actually just takes you down next to him, gently, kind of grunting again when he twists the wrong way, and he whispers something to you.
Ooh, a whisper.
Oh man, I don't even have my. Steve Gerns, if you enjoyed our music here on Darkeport, we also do have this merchandise available as far as tumblers go. We also have a sponsorship with Cantrip Candles, 10% off. We also have Eldritch Foundry. If it's your first time after running a contest, you can upward to get a free design to print out and
New Party 10 for
maps.
10% off of Cantrip.
Yes,
Candles.
and
what was the map? What was the map?
there's map and there Table Wars, but
Table Wars.
and there will be posters coming soon.
100%. Titus T-Quid will be
right.
available. As
Very nice illustration.
Okay.
All right, there you go. That was a promo.
There is something I still like to do before we end off.
Before you leave. Okay. So that make
Scotts, did you want to play by play? I was just like, wait, are you sleeping?
next journal?
Are you not on the floor anymore? Like, are you sleeping?
they're in a cot. They're kind of. I mean, they're both pretty broad people. So it's a tricky thing to fit both of you in a cot. But you
Has
managed to
she
do it.
ever slept in a bed?
Is there a dirt hole,
my
right?
question.
No, that is a good.
He always sleeps in our dirt hole.
That is a good point.
That's what I'm getting at. Like, are you done with dirt? Like, what's going on?
It's a new experience.
She's gonna be dirty somewhere else.
Reel it in, Donnie. We're almost there. We're almost there. Lovelies. So I guess it's inevitable at some point. Every D&D group does this, but it's okay. Because really, we're all 12-year-old children.
This is a fun episode.
So, no, that is a damn good point about the dirt. So it's a weird situation. It feels weird to be on the cot, to be exposed.
Yeah. I feel like at first, when she slides into the cot next to him, it's gonna be like kind of like tight, and she's just gonna be like moving around, and she's gonna say, "Do you want to move to the floor?"
Yeah, of course I do. He gets off, takes his cloak, uses it as twists it actually pretty quickly, and uses it as a pillow for both of you.
That's great.
Yeah.
That fits.
And the two of you drift off to sleep. He kind of in fits and starts. I don't know, how does Nilishli go to sleep? Is it just off like a light?
Yeah, it's kind of robotic.
Okay. Yeah. So he watches you. You don't know this, but he watches you breathe for a good long while, and his eyes, thoughts of family, friends, and allies from times past, kind of flickering through his mind's eye, as well as the very unlikely present. Just note down. I won't get into it now. Note down that you'll get a second Arcana check next session to see if the certain thought occurs to you. All right, Randy.
As this is our last night here, and we're going off into legendary potential danger, I'm going to go find Merick and make good on the promise to Jasmine that I would do what I can. I think this might be a good time, especially if we're not coming back.
Okay.
So,
where does Marcus find Merick?
I'll ask around.
What time of day is it? That's a good question.
Late.
I probably in I'm spending time with Jasmine. Well, I mean, I'll do the watch duties and all that, but I do want to spend the last night with her before I head off, for sure.
Okay. See you for the first time. I might go into more detail because we've actually on stream. I don't think we've ever been inside the Touch Gem compound.
Gotcha.
But
I will also make a note that while I'm asking where he is, I'll be sure to use his new title of Centurion, Merick, so that it's starting to spread around.
That's starting to spread.
people.
Yeah, that's starting to diffuse.
As a knock on the door, Merick. Merick.
That's not the voice you expected to hear in the compound.
Marcus.
Mm-hmm. I need to have a private word with you for a moment, please.
I'm with my wife on the last night.
It's relevant.
She knows.
Do I know the reason why she wanted me to heal him? Did she candidly talk to me about it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I get
It's
up.
relevant.
I come to the door. I'm only in a loincloth. So you will see what you probably didn't. I mean, I'm not sure how. It was public when I took off.
He wasn't there, though.
You weren't there. And when he opens the door, what you see in front of you is literally a patchwork of collagen, tissue, and scars across this entire chest, covering what looks like divot holes of what probably was flesh at one point, but was removed. And that's on both back and front. As he turns and welcomes you in. How can I help you?
It's a small room.
Yeah.
And you see the corrupted bow up on a peg.
I won't take notice of that right now.
Jasmine nods to you, just in a simple cotton shift.
Jasmine.
Please. He gets behind the door and closes it. He doesn't want to see the other cookie to see him.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm going to sit down cross-legged in the room, the very small room, because I'm 6'3", so I'd like to try something with your permission. Something that was asked of me, and I think I should be able to do it. But if it doesn't work today, we'll try again tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day until it does. Understood? But seeing as we are going off to where we're going tomorrow...
This is kept private between us, right?
Not a word. Not a word.
He, I guess I'll sit on the edge of the bed. So Lily, you know, you're right here, so yes.
I'll hold out my hand to him.
You see
Take
this
your hand, please.
large, thick, fingered and thumb hand come out.
And I'll just close my eyes and breathe in. Think about family. Think about the reason why she wants this. Think about the life that will come from it if I'm able to succeed.
And I will pray to the great grandmother.
Have you ever touched Merick before?
No.
I didn't think so.
One time he did. He tried to heal me in that first long time ago.
Right.
When you had hit, no, you're right.
But you
you're
did
right.
medical
I was trying to
surgery
pull-
instead.
I was
You
trying to pull
stepped on
through
him when we were on the wall on the fight when you were knocked down.
No, he didn't step on me.
That was
Oh, never mind. Okay, I thought that was what he did to get over you. Never mind.
No, that was the Utini sub chieftain who was stepping on you.
It was either episode 2 or 3 where I asked you to heal me.
Yeah, no,
Yes,
you're right.
yes,
you're
that's
right.
right.
Yeah. So it's been a long while, and you definitely have grown as a true cleric.
And never this intimately.
No, not even close.
So.
And this is Merick. This is Merick at his most vulnerable, really. You're in the very, the sanctum. It doesn't escape your attention that this room is the only room you've seen in the compound that has its own lock on the door. It looks almost alien in this place of trust and warmth. The great door can be barred, but the individual rooms are all open. Make an insight roll while you're here.
That's a lot. Insight is going to be 24. Yeah.
That will be the final roll of the episode. It occurs to you in stark relief that the love and the flow and the laughter and the camaraderie and the trust and the safety that are the beating heart of the Kithki culture are not permitted into this room. And you feel your own warmth. You even feel a flicker of that divine flame inside of yourself. It does not come out. All you know is that there's a moment of what must be intense concentration on his part, and you do not see the light. Jasmine, you feel her hands on your back, and
did not work.
It didn't, but I think I know why, and we need to have a conversation about this. It's important. We'll talk. But for now, be with your wife. Enjoy the last night we have here.
Thank you for trying, Marcus.
She has tears in her eyes, and
ain't no need for those. We'll make it through this.
Okay, thank you.
Come here, love.
She kind of crawls on her knee. Doop, 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 doop. That awkward kind of bed crawl.
I want to hug them both. I'm just going to reach in and hug them both. Oh, they're kissing.
Okay, yeah. And that, my lovelies, is where we will pause the tale for now. So, the table is set now for us to take our northern trip to places unknown. I will assemble your crew, Wesa, and we will see which ones you were paying what their idea of a good time is upon the return.
The top.
Need to do a little bit of research on that. We'll see if Donnie at 16. If you have not voted yet, please do so, or you can do so tomorrow in the comments.
Who's your MVP?
I will tally all of that. Who is your MVP? So, since this is a new thing, I will say it is the person who contributed the most in whatever fashion you want to measure that. So it can be role play, it can be driving the plot forward, it can be excellence in play, which can be a different thing. Juggling it. We didn't have any combat this session, but it could also be like whoever has the best tactics. Completely up to you. I'm kind of curious to get the feedback, because one of the very hard things about doing this is that while I can of course feel the people in the room, can't feel the people on the other side of the camera. Sorry, I'm not that good, guys. So that whole lack of feedback thing that's a rough road. All that having been said, thank you so much for spending another evening with us. We really truly appreciate it as we continue on our own storytelling journey. I hope that this tale is of use to you in whatever way. And we will look forward to seeing you again next week. So while you're out there going about your business and your busy lives, or perhaps your contemplative lives, depending, stay safe and stay curious. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you guys. Bye.